Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. We are glad that you have joined us. Today, we are going to talk about the best practices for improving your customer journeys.
Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Helen Rafalska and I'm Digital Excellence Lead, and today with me is Nina Rudska, Digital Excellence Manager at VISEVEN. Now, let's wait maybe a minute or two for all registrants to join us. In the meantime, we want to remind you that this webinar will be recorded and might be shared with you on your request. Okay, let's start.
So why is customer experience so important? Well, the evolution of the internet age has put great power in the hands of customers. They've learned how to ignore online advertising, and they are deserting print publications in drafts, and they have a whole new set of trusted sources online that just won't take advertising from pharmaceutical companies. Your primary offering, be it drugs or medical equipment, isn't enough anymore. Your customers desire services that will help people to better engage their health. Thus, the majority of pharma companies nowadays talk about being customer-centric and patient-centric, and everyone has a customer journey map for their patients and physicians. Everyone knows that there is a whole universe of promotional channels available today. And on the one hand, it means you have numerous options to reach out to your customer. But on the other hand, the customer can be anywhere, and we need to target really precisely to hit the point. That's why it is highly important to understand the key channels, touch points, interactions, sequences, and content structure required to meet the overall customer engagement objectives.
Healthcare professionals have already made patient-centric approach their priority, so pharma and healthcare are keeping up with them. Internet-savvy physicians are no longer an emerging group. Almost all of them are online for professional purposes. A digital native HCP relies on digital interactions through connected digital technologies for his or her entire professional journey.
Patients are changing too. Patients do not address their HCPs immediately if they have an issue. They check their other sources, especially online research. With an easy access to online data, patients are no longer passive recipients of managing their health by doctors' prescriptions only. They're going to visit their physician being already prepared on how they should be treated.
To understand the role of the marketer of today, we need to understand what he or she has to accomplish. Before the beginning of a new cycle, he needs to prepare and improve his brand plan. Of course, he starts with a customer journey and understanding the customer needs. Based on that, he clearly articulates his strategic imperatives and transforms it into clear marketing messages with the right channel mix. With the constant evolution of the customer group's behavior, the marketer has to create and distribute relevant content in the right touchpoint or channel in the right sequence to both engage every individual person and deepen their relationship with the brand within their individual journey to using your brand and becoming loyal to a brand.
As we all know, nowadays, pharma industry is rapidly getting more omnichannel oriented. And just to remind you, omnichannel marketing refers to the multi-channel approach, which revolves around the HCP and creates a single, top-quality experience across your brand and account for the spillover among channels. In omnichannel marketing, all channels are available to the HCP and are cross-connected. Omnichannel marketing ensures that no matter which channel the HCP will choose, the message will be seamless. All this for sure have its own reflection on the customer journeys.
The tactics of omni-channel content development have replaced the main marketing tools. However, in order to make this content useful and compliant, it should be delivered at the right time through the right channel and the correct format. Whether it's personalized email, interactive presentation, or webinar, all content and key messages should be tailored to your target customer, remain relevant, and of course, be personalized.
Pharma marketing experts need to get a huge amount of data about their customers to target them accurately and accordingly. Artificial intelligence and automated platforms are already involved into the whole process, making omnichannel campaigns more advanced and effective.
Leading pharma companies are starting to emulate businesses in other sectors by turning to the experience they provide for their customers. And on this complex slide, you can see an example provided by McKinsey & Company, which illustrates an 8-step process that pharma companies can follow to design superior customer journeys. This 8-step approach blends quantitative and qualitative methods to put patient experience front and center of successful launch. So, the first step is mapping existing journeys. Before launch, it is necessary to examine customer journeys and identify any likely pain points that need to be addressed. For the patient, pain points often occur in getting diagnosed, getting access to treatment, and starting and staying on the therapy. For the prescriber, pain points may arise during interactions with the patient, from diagnosis and prescription through to monitoring and follow-up, or with the pharma company, including acquiring new medical and scientific knowledge. The second step is building personas. Develop profiles or so-called personas that capture the emotional, physical, and clinical aspects of the customer experience and help companies understand and quantify patients' and prescribers' behaviors and attitudes toward a given condition or disease. A persona is a profile of imaginary individual synthesized from observations of many customers with similar profiles. To uncover deep-rooted needs for each persona, pharma companies use rigorous quantitative and qualitative methods, including claims and medical records analysis, primary segmentation, and immersive research. The third step is identifying opportunity areas. Use real-world evidence from medical records, claims, prescriptions, lab tests, and so on for drugs already on the market to identify touch points across patient and prescriber journeys that influence the prescription, the patient's adherence to therapy, and prescriber and patient satisfaction with their experience. Identify each persona's pain points, prioritize them by impact on customer experience, and identify their root causes at a granular level. The fourth step goes with the title Co-Create Solutions with Real Customers. This step presupposes work with real customers to develop target interactions, concepts, and sketches for each persona to address identified opportunity areas and priority pain points.
Then goes the fifth step, which is called Test and Quantify the Solutions. This step presupposes the usage of conjoint analysis and basket optimization algorithm to assess the impact of co-created solutions on satisfaction, prescription, and adherence, rank them in priority order, and identify the optimal combination of solutions based on their impact on customer experience and their feasibility. The next one is storyboard new journeys. Merge all insights gathered and connected priority solutions and interactions in a storyboard that represents the target customer journey for each persona. Develop a blueprint specifying the back-office tools needed to enable this journey. Prototype the journeys. This is the 7th step. Convert priority interactions and solutions into actual prototypes to be anchored in the target journey. Test the prototypes with customers through several rounds of interaction and incorporate their feedback to ensure solutions pass the reality test. And the last, but not the least one, is implement and monitor. Anchor target journeys in day-to-day field force interaction model. Pilot each journey in 1 or 2 countries before the full rollout. After rollout, monitor journeys and constantly gather customer feedback to improve them interaction by interaction. Develop a measurement system that uses real-life data to track the impact of the redesign on patients and prescribers during the launch phase. Well, one of the distinctive aspects of this approach is the creation of a persona that represents a target customer for the therapy being launched. We talked about this in step 2, by the way. To develop this persona, a company starts by performing a quantitative segmentation analysis to understand key customer profiles and then populates these segments with real channels and prescription behaviors from a range of data sources, actually. It uses ethnographic observation, dairy studies, and other qualitative methods to build up a 3-dimensional synthesized portrait that incorporates emotional, cognitive, and physical elements with such as behavior patterns, personal goals, pain points, mood shifts, and decision-making drivers. Each persona then becomes the starting point of the developing a target customer journey that specifies all key interactions with that customer group.
So every marketer should understand his audience and distinguish between different types of the audience in order to choose the right channel, tools, and content while approaching them. And on the next slide, we would like to tell you more information about audience types according to one of the segmentations, which also must be taken into account while creating the effective customer journeys.
On this first slide, you can see different types of the customers which were identified based on the qualitative methods. So these types are detractor, passive customer, and promoter. Let's take a closer look at them. So, well, those customers who are against your product, they are detractors. They need more attention than HCPs who are already in communication with your brand. Here, brand managers and medical representatives should use a combination of engaging tools such as emails, face-to-face visits, and remote calls. First step in introducing of your brand to HCPs is to inform them. After that comes drawing interest. When HCP is interested in, you can give them more information to make them more enthusiastic. And when the ice is broken, active engagement shows up. And another situation is to target HCP who is passive and not interested at all. Here, MedReps have to use all armory of marketing tools to draw loyalty and enthusiasm. And finally, we meet among our target audience a promoter. This doctor is happy to collaborate and is interested in all what you are saying. Active engaging process here will be well received by such type of HCPs, actually.
At this slide, different types of doctors and marketing strategy which fit more for each case are presented. So, for example, if medical representative deals with detractor, it would be a good idea to give him educational materials, for example, for doctors and patients. The aim of each contact with detractor is to push the trials and switch from competitors.
So when we deal with the detractor, our key goal is to move them up on the adoption ladder. Then, if we talk about our need, in this case, it would be maximum exposure to key messages in order to educate and convert the customer.
When we deal with the passive HCP, our key goal is to strengthen his loyalty to the product, enthusiasm to prescribe your product. And when we talk about the need, in this case, the need would be to show our competitive advantage.
When we deal with the promoter, our key goal is to strengthen personal communication. And the need, of course, is to keep their loyalty.
As you can see, your target audience might be very much different. So it is crucial to not only reach out to your audience on a regular basis, but to understand what methods of communication are preferable for them. And the main task here is to create a flow for each of your customer groups. Furthermore, it is necessary to personalize the approach and present data carefully and meaningfully.
On this first slide, you can see an example of the customer journey and different scenarios of how the process might be settled up. Based on our experience, we can say without any doubt that nowadays pharma marketers are increasingly striving to create an improved customer experience. And with the right strategies, data analytics, and execution in place, a better customer experience can become a reality. Remember that a good customer experience can provide the engagement needed to maintain reach, frequency, and share of voice. And the exceptional customer experience gives pharma companies the chance to radically differentiate themselves from the competitors.
So if you are interested in getting more information on how to orchestrate customer journeys, please contact our team of experts and we will be happy to show you everything in action.
We want to thank you for your attention, and in case you have some questions or comments, please simply send us a message via email and we will be happy to contact you back. Thanks again for joining us and have a nice day.